What is
So, everyone, welcome to the Wolf and Hound Show. I thought I was supposed to go first.
I thought you was too, Wolf.
Miscommunication.
All right.
Well, the
Take
Wolf
two.
and Hound Show would like to introduce to everyone Jenny Love Paranormal TV.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
She's our special guest speaker tonight. And but before we get the show started, I'd like to give a big shout out to Laura W. from Purple Crayons.
Yes.
Today is her birthday.
Purple crayon.
So are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh. Happy birthday,
dear
Purple Crayons.
Oh.
Happy
birthday to you.
All right.
He's got the last towel, Wolf.
Oh, okay. Jenny, it's all yours. Take it away.
Thank you, guys. So, hey, guys, what's going on? First of all, I'd like to say thank you to Wolf and Hound for having me on their show. It's an honor. And I hope everybody's having a good night so far. I am open to any questions that you guys want to ask about, the paranormal or any experiences that I might have had or about me, if you want to know anything about me. Let's see, where do I start? Obviously, I go by Jenny Love, but my real name is Jennifer, and I live in Southwest Florida, and my husband and I are interested very much so in the paranormal. So, oh, hey, Mom. Hey, Big Ben. First of all, I'm like totally ignoring you guys. I don't even know who's here. Hey, Benny. Let's see. Hey, Melinda. Lost for Words. Hey, I love that name. I think I said that before, but I love that name. That is so cute. Hey, Kim. Hey, Laura. I think I said Laura. I'm not sure. Hey, Patty. So, hey, Purple Crayons. Happy birthday. Are you an empath? I feel that you are. I'm clairvoyant. I don't know if I would call myself an empath, but I noticed a lot of times that I dream a lot about things that are going to happen that haven't happened yet. And it kind of creeps me out. I don't know if that would count. My mother, though, is an empath, and my grandmother was an empath. But yeah, like I said, as far as that goes, I think the only thing is that would classify that for me is that there are a lot of times where I dream about things and they eventually happen, like a deja vu kind of thing. And it creeps me out. Like, for example, back when I was 18 years old, I had a dream that my mother called me in the middle of the night, and I was sleeping in my dream, and she called me in the middle of the night, and she said that my grandmother was in the hospital and that they didn't think that she was going to make it. So she said, go back to sleep. I'll call you in the morning. I'll give you an update. They're not allowed visitors right now. It's the middle of the night. So I went back to sleep. I woke up the next morning, literally. And I called my mom and I was like, how's grandma doing? And she's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, you called me in the middle of the night and told me that she was in the hospital. She was like, no, I didn't. So I was like, okay, like it had to have been a dream, but it felt very, very real. But sadly, about a week later, my grandmother ended up in the hospital and she passed away a few days after that. So I end up having dreams like that they feel so realistic, even though they're a dream. And then they eventually happen, either partly or all the way. So yeah, as far as, being like an empath or a clairvoyant or anything like that, I would say that that's what I kind of deal with. But hey, anytime, Brandy. Thank you for asking that question. But yeah, so I know Hound mentioned about how he wants to hear some of my cemetery stories, and I have plenty of them, as you guys know. I mean, there's so many cemeteries that we go to that are so haunted. The biggest one, or the most haunted one rather, is probably Restlawn Cemetery. A lot of you are familiar with that. A lot of you who are subscribed to my channel and watch a lot of my live streams, because that cemetery is actually on the list for most haunted places in Southwest Florida. A farmer ended up killing his wife on that property before it was a cemetery back in the late 1800s. And they ended up, building a cemetery on the property slowly, making it bigger and bigger until they eventually had to tear down the original house that the farmer and his wife lived in, which was actually very recently. It was about a year ago, so that they could expand the cemetery. And there's a certain section of that cemetery that is very haunted. And we've caught shadow figures, we've caught apparitions, raw EVPs. We've smelled strong sulfur. And when I say we, it's me and my husband, John. We've collabed with people in that cemetery, like Vinny from Lost Souls Paranormal. My mother has come down and visited and went on a hunt with us in that cemetery. So yes, yeah, it's Restlawn Cemetery. Like I said, we go there a lot. Last time we went there was the night before Halloween, I believe. And for those of you who were in that live stream, you know that we ended up getting kicked out. And that was the very first time that we were asked to leave that cemetery after being there so many times. Yes, Mom. By the way, Kathy's Restless Spirits, for those of you who don't know, that is my mother. So when I say Mom, that's who I'm referring to. But yes, that cemetery is crazy. I've been there, I can't even tell you how many times. I would have to say 20 times or more. And every time I go there, still to this day, I'm scared. Like, I am terrified. There's just creepy vibes all around, no matter where you go in that cemetery. It's very scary. So, yeah, and I don't know if there's any other cemeteries in my area that I go to that are on the most haunted list, but I know for a fact that there are cemeteries that are just as haunted. For example, the one we went to last weekend, it's Charlotte Memorial, but we call it the Dark Hallway because there is a mausoleum that has no lights on. It's like a huge long hallway and it's just darkness all down the hallway. And there's just bodies like on both sides of you, like down this long dark hallway. And we get a lot of activity in that hallway. And so, Kathy rocks, I know, right? That's probably, I would say, the second most haunted. Actually, no, let me take that back. The second most haunted cemetery that we go to is definitely Indian Spring. Indian Spring Cemetery is crazy, especially when we investigate the Hewitt Mausoleum. People do rituals and all kinds of stuff in that mausoleum. Some good, some bad. The mausoleum is literally falling apart. There are only, I believe, 5 or 6 burials in there from the 1800s. And I'm like literally waiting to go there one of these days and see it crumble to the ground because it's just falling apart. And I don't even know what they're going to do with the bodies in that thing once it does. But Indian Spring Cemetery is said to be haunted by Mary Sandlin and her father. Oh gosh, what's his name? I can't think of his name now. Help me out, Mom. But anyways, back in the late 1800s, Mary Sandlin lived in a home down the street from Indian Spring Cemetery, which is near actually where I live. And she was ironing on the front porch. And back then, irons were gasoline powered, kerosene powered. They weren't electric. And she spilled gasoline on her dress and she caught on fire and burned to death on the front porch of her home. So it is said that, and she's buried in that cemetery, obviously. So it is said that she roams that cemetery a lot at night, along with her father. Her father used to be the mayor. I don't know if it was the mayor or the governor of Punta Gorda, Florida. It was one of those two. But he also haunts that cemetery as well as Albert Gilchrist, who was the Grand Master of the Masons of Florida. He also haunts that cemetery. And on my channel, we did a whole episode or video contacting and speaking with Albert Gilchrist and basically giving the background on what a Freemason is and was and what it entails and all that. It's really cool. So Let me see. I'm trying to catch up on chat here. Hi, Terry. How's it going? Cemetery views. Hey. Sorry about that. I was reading the chat. Lost for words. Thank you so much. You're a sweetheart. I appreciate that. So yeah, I mean, as far as all of the cemeteries that we visit, I would have to say that those two are the most haunted. Absolutely. What is the scariest you've ever been in? The scariest or the scaredest that I've ever been in a cemetery? I'm going to assume that you mean the scaredest. Um, hmm. Honestly, it would probably have to be the time that we were on a hunt with Vinny from Lost Souls Paranormal and my mother. It was the four of us, and there was some bad juju going on because, first of all, we started off in the back, and we were getting a lot of evil voices over the spirit box, like a lot of evil voices or malevolent type voices. And we started walking, and we were hearing like pounding noises on the mausoleum walls, which the outside mausoleum walls, not the inside. So we were live at the time. And to demonstrate like what it sounded like, Vinny walked up to the mausoleum and he kind of like tapped. I mean, he didn't even bang. It was just a little tap on an empty square, which means that nobody's encased into that one, as far as we know. And when he did that, a plate from like 3 plots down fell off. And when he went to go pick it up to put it back on, he noticed that the name said Vincent, and that's Vinny's name, Vincent. So it really freaked him out. Him and my husband were able to put it back on, and we just basically continued the investigation. And that was the same night that we smelled the sulfur really, really, really strong over in one area, which is the same area that my mother kept seeing like shadow figures over by this tree. We were all like completely creeped out to the point to where we eventually all about faced and literally power walked, almost ran out of that cemetery and jumped in our truck. Like we were freaking out. So I would have to say that that's probably the time the most scared I've been in a cemetery, because there was a lot of bad energy, like really bad. You could feel it like in your bones. It was really bad. Have you ever felt confusion when around spirits? Um, Honestly, I don't think so. I think the only confusion that I might have probably felt was when you can't understand what they're trying to say to you. Especially when, when they're using like the necrophonic or something, which is a lot of, it's a sound bank app. It only allows them to usually come through with like 1 or 2 words at a time rather than full sentences. So when they're trying to communicate with you, they're putting all of these words together separately and hoping that you put it all together so that you understand what they're saying. And then you got all these other spirits coming in and, just blocking out what they're saying and interrupting them and confusing you. And, you hear the same spirit trying to come through, but you can't figure out what they're trying to say to you. And I think that's probably the most confused that I've ever gotten when I was around spirits. And sometimes they get frustrated with you, like legit, they get frustrated because then they start like crying. You can hear them like crying over the spirit box, or they just leave and then they tell you to leave, or they tell you to leave and then they leave. And I mean, there's been times where me and my husband have been in almost full blown conversation with spirits over a spirit box. And then because we were misunderstanding or not getting what they were saying, they would literally get frustrated and just say, leave, please go, please leave. And we're just like, okay. So, I mean, definitely confusing when we go through something like that. Nothing has ever tried to get in your head. Not that I know of. Like I've never had anything attached to me. I mean, that I know of. I think that I would know if something did, but no, I don't think so. I have felt uncomfortable at times whenever were on, a certain investigation to where, we would be walking into a certain section or something, and I would look at my husband and say, I don't feel right. Like, I feel like I shouldn't be walking over here. Like, something doesn't feel right. Something's telling me that we shouldn't be over here. And he would look at me and say, if that's how you feel, then we should be here because something's obviously here. But, I mean, yeah, no, not that I know of. I've never had a spirit attached to me, and John's never had any spirits attached to him. Thank God for that, honestly, because I don't want to deal with that. I've seen what happens to people when they have spirits attached to them, and it doesn't look very fun. So, what? Oh yeah. Oh, my husband just offered me a cup of coffee. Thank you.
Yep.
Just in time. Because my throat's getting dry. It's not in my Christmas mug, though. Patty said to tell you, she said, hey. I don't know if you heard him. Can you guys hear him? He said, hey.
Hey! hey!
Yes, thank goodness. Seriously. Geeked Up Paranormal, how's it going? The Bud Files, how's it going? Yeah, I don't want that to happen to me. Like I said, I've seen what happens to people when spirits attached to them and stuff, and no thanks. Like, I'm not gonna name specifically who this was because I don't know if they would want me to say who it was, but me and John can vouch that we have literally watched a friend of ours on cam, like we were all up on panel together just like this, and we watched his face practically transform, and I'm not even exaggerating when I tell you guys this. I'm gonna have to ask if I can get his permission to release that, because I think he's got the video set to private because YouTube demonetized it or something, I don't know. But he just got back from an investigation and he wasn't feeling right. So he went up on panel. Uncle Paul from Paranormal 101 said, come up on panel. Let's talk about it if you don't feel right, because you just came back from a hunt. So who knows what it can be. So we were all on panel just talking. And then all of a sudden it's like his face started to like shrink down, like really slow. And this person, as far as I know, has light eyes, and his eyes got like pitch black, like black. They were like beady, and it was really, really scary. And he just like went off into like this stare, and he was just like staring off into the distance, and he wasn't paying attention to anything that we were saying. It was really scary. Like it was creepy, like to the point to where I had to get off a panel because I was like freaking out. Does it drain your energy being around the spirits? Yes, that is actually a big one. First, they go for our batteries, our camera batteries, our cell phone batteries, the batteries that are in the SB7, the K2 meter. And then there has been so many times where by the time we're done with a hunt, I am freaking exhausted. Like, I'm ready to pass out. And even my mother knows, like, when we get back from a hunt, like, I go to bed. Like, I'm exhausted. So I truly believe that, that's what the spirits are doing. They're taking energy for me to be able to communicate. And I often wonder to myself if that's like when I get touched by a spirit. Like, I've never been scratched, I've never been shoved, I've never been assaulted by a spirit, but I have been touched. They feel like light pokes, like how somebody pokes you to get your attention, or like you feel like you got like a hair on your arm or your leg and you're reaching for it and you can't find it because there is no hair. That to me is what it means to be touched, and I'm wondering if that is actually when they're harvesting energy from you, is when they're touching you. So, but yes, almost every time we come home from a hunt, I am exhausted. Almost every time. When we get back from an investigation, we're ready to go on another one, but that's just, they can be addicting, for sure. They can be addicting. I think there was one point where me and John were going on hunts almost every day for like a couple of weeks straight, because they're addicting, especially when you get some really good evidence. It's like you want to go out and get more and more evidence. You just want to keep getting evidence. And, of course, there's times where you go out and you don't get any evidence. And it's like, people think it's a waste of time, but it's not. It's still an experience. But yeah, when I'm done doing a hunt, I'm pretty tired. We got a good one coming up on Saturday. Oh, I don't. Hey, Fox. So yeah. What else? Let me think. We just went on a hunt. We just did a collaboration with Vinny, Lost Souls Paranormal, this past Saturday. I actually went live, and we caught some really interesting things that we did not see at the time. I actually just edited that live stream. For those of you who don't know, I edit my live streams so that I can give you guys another perception of the video and cut out all the boring parts and help you understand what's being said over the spirit box. And if anything, that we missed at the time, comes through, I can emphasize it in the video for you guys. A lot of people seem to enjoy it when I do that. So when I edited this last live stream, when we investigated the haunted trailer, which that was the trailer we investigated that back in 1975, a family of 5 was murdered in the trailer. Unfortunately, 2 men broke in and murdered the whole family. And the trailer, the property, everything has just been sitting there ever since, untouched, just falling apart. And whoever owns it protects the crap out of it. I'll tell you what, they don't do anything with it. They just leave it the way it is. But they are very protective. Where do you see my channel in 5 years? Ooh, I don't know. Hopefully still going strong and, loving what I do, which I don't see why not, as long as, nothing big happens in life that would put a damper on that. I'm going to continue to, keep going and keep moving forward and keep filming and investigating and, bringing my audience what they like to see, which is real paranormal investigating. And when I say real paranormal investigating, that's me not putting myself in the class of cheaters and fakers and, things like that, because that's what me and John thrive on, is the fact that we want to be as real as possible. And we want to bring you guys as much truth as possible when it comes to the paranormal. If something happens and we can't explain it, some of me and John will try our best to debunk it. Just because there's always an explanation for something, whether it be paranormal or physical. And if we see something that looks like it's paranormal, we'll try really hard to debunk it, to see if it was something physical. And there's been times where we can't. There's been times where we could, but there's been times where we can't. And it's pretty mind-blowing. I second that. Jenny is the best. My sister from another mister. I love you, Patty. Yeah. So, and then of course, when we went up north to Massachusetts and upstate New York to do some investigations, we drove from Florida to New York to Massachusetts, back to New York, and then back down. We did the S.K. Pierce Mansion with Patty from Patty's Adventures. That was insane. I have like a 4-part video on my channel of that, because there's different floors. There's the first floor, second floor, third floor, and then the basement. Crazy evidence in that place. But of all of the places that I've investigated, the Mirador Bed and Breakfast in Brooksville, Florida, is definitely by far the most haunted of all the places I've investigated. I want to go back there so bad after the holidays, but they get booked up pretty quick, and they get a lot of investigators that go in there. But yeah, I'm bound and determined. And I know the owner now that I've stayed there. So I'm probably just going to contact her and see if we can get the place to ourselves, because that's what's hard. Is there's 3 bedrooms there. There's the Peacock room, the Black Swan room, and the White Swan room. And, you book one of the rooms thinking, oh, I'm going to do a paranormal investigation. And then you find out that the other 2 rooms are booked. And you're like, how am I going to do this? So the only way to really get the whole place to yourself to do an investigation would be to contact the owner. Her name is Kayla. She's a sweetheart. And see if you can get the whole place and not be charged for all 3 rooms. But that place is insane. I also have that video on my channel from when we went there, and oh God, there was so much happening. But I think the biggest one of all is when we were sleeping, and I had the camera set up at the end of the bed, pointing to me and John. It's like right now. I thought I felt something touching my arm, but yeah. So about an hour, maybe 2 hours after we fell asleep, because I sped the time up so that you guys didn't have to watch us sleeping. Eventually, you see the blanket like come up, and then it like drops back down. And it happened like 20 times. I kid you not, no exaggeration. Again, that video is on my channel. You guys can go and watch it. It's the Mirador Bed and Breakfast video. And it was doing it for about an hour, I would say. And as a matter of fact, it might have been going for longer than that, because I watched it all the way up until my laptop stopped recording, because it was my laptop that was recording it. And it just kept going until my laptop stopped recording. So it could have even been going for longer. But where would you like to go investigate? That's on your bucket list. Oh, Bolt Castle in Alexandria Bay, New York. Okay. So I've explained this before, but I love talking about this. So I was born and raised in upstate New York, as some of you know, and I moved down to Florida almost 6 years ago. So I spent the majority of my life in New York, 36 years in New York. And almost every year, well, not my whole life, but once I became an adult, me and my mother, me and my family, me and my husband and my kids, whoever, every summer would go to Alexandria Bay, New York, which is up in northern New York, like up near the Adirondacks and stuff. And they have Bolt Castle up there, which is on an island that's shaped like a heart. It is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Mr. Bolt actually started building this castle for his wife back in the mid 1800s. And halfway through, well, not even halfway through, I think they just started, like they weren't even a quarter of the way through. His wife got sick and passed away. So he stopped all of the work on the castle. He, told the crew, just stop everything. We're not going to finish it. Go home, blah, blah, blah. So the castle just sat abandoned for years and years and years and years and years. Like I said, from the mid 1800s. Eventually, I don't know if it's the state of New York or the city, town, whatever, eventually purchased the castle and the property that it's on. Hey, Uncle Paul. And they continued the build of this castle because they found the original plans, and they continued building this castle so that they could finish it. And it wasn't just the castle. I mean, there was like huge gardens, and there was a big playhouse or a clubhouse for his kids. He had 2 kids. And in his plans, he had planned to build them a huge playhouse or clubhouse that had like a stage in there so that they can do performances. And it had a bowling alley in there. Like, it was crazy. And then of course the boathouse, or whatever it's called. My mother knows what it's called. I think it's, I know it's not the boathouse, but anyway, it's a huge area, which is also, known to be haunted, I guess. It creeps a lot of people out. So the basement of this castle, when you're walking through the basement, it's just like a tunnel. Like, it's a tunnel, and it goes like forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And it's like, you're never going to get out of this tunnel because you're walking for so long. And then like even their in-ground swimming pool was in the basement. It was crazy. You can look up pictures, Google Bolt Castle in Alexandria Bay, and it's insane. So to make a long story short, even though I'm already making the story long, every time I went there, or every time my mother went there, we would feel like vibes, like really, really creepy heaviness, like, that something is there. That something is near you or watching you, or whatever. And it got to the point to where even after you left the castle and you went home, like it would be on your mind for days. Like you wouldn't be able to stop thinking about it. Like just out of the blue, like you'd be doing the dishes and all of a sudden the castle would pop up in your head and you'd start thinking of, the way the rooms looked and stuff like that, because they're almost done, I think, building it or remodeling it. I don't think they're done yet. I think they're still working on it because it's that big. But we always felt like we knew that something was in that castle. I found out that nobody has ever investigated that castle. There has never been a paranormal investigation in that castle. And I would love to be the first person to ever be able to do that. I mean, if I'm not, and somebody else is able to get in there before me, great, because I want to see that. I mean, by all means, go and investigate because I am interested in what is in there, and nobody has ever been allowed in there with, paranormal equipment and things like that. So when I go back up north next summer, I'm hoping to, I don't know if they'll let me actually rent the place to do a paranormal investigation. I don't know if I'm going to have to like sneak in some equipment, like maybe a K2 meter and my necrophonic in one hand, and just like kind of go off in an area where there's not a whole bunch of people, but I'm bound and determined to investigate that castle. And again, nobody has ever done it. And I've actually even made that suggestion to Mo Sargi because Mo Sargi lives in Ontario, Canada, which is only about an hour, maybe 2 hours away from Bolt Castle and Alexandria Bay. So he responded and he said, "Oh yeah, that's a great idea. I've heard of that," but he hasn't made any plans or anything that I've heard of to go and do that. So I would love to be able to do that. So yeah, that's definitely the number one place on my bucket list. Yeah, we do too. We love Mo Sargi. Still want to investigate the Yellow Motel. I don't think I've ever heard of that one. Is that in the Carolinas? I'm not sure. I've heard of that. And then there's a few places. Yo, Mo, my boy. Oh, okay, in Michigan. All right. Yes. Canada is cold right now. That's one thing I don't miss because, excuse me, when I lived in upstate New York, I didn't live far from Ontario, Canada either, like 2-hour drive. I don't even think it was even that long, honestly, because we lived in like Oswego County over in that area, which is like upstate New York, but on the west side of it, like near the Canadian border, Ontario area. And we used to get the same weather as people in that part of Canada. And let me just tell you, I do not miss it. Not that I'm rubbing it in or anything, Laura, I promise. But I am so glad that we moved to Florida almost 6 years ago because dealing with those winters year after year, I mean, it got to the point to where the temperatures were dropping down to like below 20 degrees and my furnace would stop working on its own because it couldn't keep up. Like that's how cold it would get. And I'm like, screw this. Like we need to get the hell out of here. We were trying on and off to move to Florida for years and it just never worked out because it probably just wasn't our time. And then eventually, when we did move down here, everything happened. It just like flowed perfectly like it was meant to be. Wolf and Hound has an abandoned hospital. You have an abandoned what? Tim Hortons. Oh, I remember Tim Hortons. We don't have Tim Hortons in Florida, but we did in New York. I used to love their round donuts, like their Munchkin donuts, and they had the chocolate sauce that you dunk them in. Oh my God, that was that was awesome. I miss Tim Hortons. I haven't had it in forever. Oh, okay, I gotcha. You have an abandoned hospital to investigate. Gotcha. No, I take it that that's in near where you are. I mean, are you guys in North Carolina or South Carolina? I don't remember. I want to say you're in North Carolina, right? Um, but yeah, an abandoned hospital. Okay, I have not done a hospital yet. Abandoned hospitals, insane asylums, things like that are also something that I really, really, really want to do because they have to be haunted. They're hospitals, they're insane asylums. So many people have died in those kinds of buildings and not in peaceful ways. Or, so I'm sure they're pretty pissed off and trapped and stuff like that. You can't go wrong in places like that if you're looking for paranormal evidence. So I have yet to be able to do anything like that because we don't have a lot of those down here in Florida. Like St. Augustine, we have some of those. And John and I actually plan on traveling to St. Augustine after the holidays. I know some of you already know that because we've talked about that before. So hopefully we'll be able to hit up the abandoned. Is it an insane asylum or a hospital?
There's a hospital there, but there's an insane asylum in Arcadia that's
Okay.
abandoned, but nobody can get in there.
Yes. Okay. So I don't know if you guys can hear John because I'm using my mic here, but he said that there is an abandoned hospital in Arcadia, which is not far from us at all. Maybe 20 minutes, half hour,
Yeah.
but you can't get in. Like they have it all like barricaded. You cannot get in. But they have an abandoned hospital in St. Augustine, and they have the abandoned prison in St. Augustine as well. So we plan on hitting those up after the holidays, and I'm super excited for that. Uh-oh, what's going on in the chat? Oh boy. We don't have them here. No, they're not really up north that much. I noticed that a lot of them are like Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, maybe Alabama. I think they have a bunch of them in Alabama. There's not many in Florida. Treasure hunt pirate folklore in St. Augustine. Oh, I've never heard of that. I'm not sure about that. I'll have to check into that. Yeah, Lost for Words said, isn't there a treasure hunt pirate folklore in St. Augustine too?
Yeah.
So
It's an abandoned cemetery and the caskets are all out.
I saw that. Yeah. John was just showing me a video here. Can you hold that up to the screen? An abandoned cemetery where the caskets are falling out.
Crazy.
Oh wow, imagine that. Imagine walking into a cemetery and the caskets and everything are, oh God. I would still film. I would still do it. We have 3 abandoned houses that nobody knows anything about, but we investigate these locations. Oh, okay. So you don't know anything about the history or anything on these houses, I take it? I'm going to an abandoned haunted prison in the spring. Awesome, Sam. Yeah, that I'm really excited about hitting up the hospital and the jail. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact too that they're huge, they're large, so you have a lot of space to investigate, which is really cool. Oh no, I wouldn't go there. Yeah, she's been talking about moving here since we moved here, so she needs to get her booty down here. Yep, I think Patty said she's coming down in March, right, Patty? For 2 weeks. We're going to hit up a bunch of spots while Patty's here, and we're going to catch up with Omar and take her to the clown cottage and stuff like that. That's going to be fun. I can't wait for that. The first one is the forgotten house. The second one is the rotting house, period. And the third one is the abandoned farmhouse in the woods. Ooh, okay. So you guys have, some good opportunity to investigate and like urban explore, that's pretty cool. Pirate Robert, Cyril, and Fountain of Youth is in St. Augustine. That was what I was thinking. Oh, okay. Pirate Robert, Cyril, and the Fountain of Youth. I've heard about the Fountain of Youth. Yeah, it's in St. Augustine. St. Augustine also has Camp Casadega, which we plan on hitting that up. It's a spiritualist camp, and it's known to be very, very, very haunted. And they have like haunted trails and stuff like in the woods, like certain places that people have done seances, people were murdered, people committed suicide. in these woods that are around the spiritualist camp. And a lot of people like to go in there and do investigations because apparently that's haunted. What happened, guys? I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I don't even know what happened. It just poof went away for no reason.
I was just about to send you the link again.
No, I still have it in the email, so I went back and grabbed it real quick. I'm fast.
Faster
All right,
than
well,
me.
we're gonna let you get back to it because you're rocking it. So
Yep.
Okay. Yes, I seen somebody said in the chat about the devil's chair. Yes, that's another thing that we're excited about visiting and investigating is the devil's chair. Yeah, John wants to sit on it. I don't know if you guys can hear John in the background because, like I said, I'm hooked to my mic here, but he's doing the peanut gallery thing over here. Big Daddy is right where he belongs with little man. So yeah, my mic fell out. But definitely can't wait to visit St. Augustine after the holidays because there's so much there to be had, and there's so much there that we plan on investigating. I think that will make for quite a bit of content, especially if we catch interesting things. Because if we go there and we don't really catch anything, I mean, there's no point in really making content out of it. What's that?
Said that light behind you is really bright.
I'll shut it off. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, that's that. You can shut it off. That actually doesn't look bad. It doesn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm looking at your computer screen and staying on.
Oh. No, it's delayed on the computer screen.
Yeah, no,
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, yeah, my mom said they can hear you. Yeah, I didn't realize that the light behind me was drowning me out. I'm sorry about that, guys. John said that he was looking at my computer screen and it looked like it was washing my face out or something. I don't know. But so yeah, excited about that. Another thing that we plan on doing after the holidays is again hitting up the Mirador again. I'm going to contact the owner and see about getting the whole place to ourselves so we don't have to worry about other people that rent it out. Hey, Kill Hut. Tales from the Sauces. Isn't it from the solstice? Hold on. Oh, I might have missed it. I don't know. I know. Mine does the same thing. You gotta love autocorrect or whatever the heck it's called. Oh, there they are. Tales of the Solstice. Yeah. How's it going? But yeah, so there's a lot of places that we have on our list to investigate. And of course, also when we go back up north next summer, I definitely want to hit up the S.K. Pierce Mansion again. I know my mother wants to go with us for that. I'm not sure if Patty will be coming with us for that because she said something about wanting to hit up different places instead, which we'll definitely hit up, different places and stuff with Patty, but we're going back to the S.K. Pierce Mansion. And when we were there last time, they were talking about how they were in the process of turning it into a bed and breakfast, babe, or an Airbnb. Airbnb. I think you're talking. I think this house is like 6,000 square foot. It is huge. It is freaking huge. It's got 12 known spirits in it, and they said that they were yes. Any questions? Please ask away. I'm happy to answer any questions. But they were saying about how they were in the process of turning it into an Airbnb, and they were having issues, getting through the city, the rules of the city or whatever to apply that. So they said something about when we return next year, it might be an Airbnb, so we can rent the whole house to ourselves and not have to worry about the tour guides and the owners and stuff hanging out. Which when we were there, it wasn't bad. They would join us at times because they were interested in what we were doing. But a lot of times they just, went off into the parlor or whatever and just chilled out and let us do what we were doing.
Across the street from the Mirador is going to be a bed and breakfast too.
Yes, across the street from the Mirador Bed and Breakfast here in Florida, they're opening up another bed and breakfast that is huge. It looks like an old plantation. It's gorgeous. Do I like strawberry jelly? I saw that question. I love strawberry jelly. I prefer strawberry jelly over grape jelly any day. Dream location, the location to investigate. Oh, you came in late. I already answered that, but I'll answer it again. That is the Bolt Castle in Alexandria Bay, New York. Definitely want to hit that place up.
I wouldn't mind going up there and just going on a tour of the place and walking around and then doing our investigation like undercover. Like when people are not around.
That's what I was saying. Like we can sneak equipment in, just like put it in a backpack. And then just do the tour, like we'll do a video of just like a regular tour of the place and tell you about the history and stuff, because I definitely want to get that in. You guys, for whoever doesn't know what I'm talking about, has never been there, never seen it, blah, 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 you would be very, very interested to see this place. And then like John said, after a lot of people leave and the place dies down, that's when you break out your equipment in like corners or areas where there's like no people. Because we sneaky like that. I'm gonna flea dip both you got. Who's got fleas? Oh God, what's up with the strawberry jam? Oh heck yeah, I will tear up some strawberry jam. Thank you so much, Laura. We try, but you can't always get the results that you want, So I don't know if some of you noticed, whoever's of you are subscribed to my channel and you watch our live investigations, but we tend to kind of shift things when nothing's happening. If we're on a live investigation and there's no, nothing happening, no action, John and I will shift things and we'll try to make the stream humorous, and we'll just like start making fun of things or whatever. Got to make it entertaining either way, guys, Hey, Rain, how's it going? Uh-oh, what'd I miss? Wolf, behave, her mom is here. Pfft, kidding me? My mom will probably laugh right along with you. Those boys are in trouble now. It's because they got fleas, apparently. Oh, okay. I was wondering why. I'm like, what the hell is going on with the strawberry jam, y'all? I was wondering what was going on with that. Okay. I'm not sure if I want to know. Hey, Jax, how's it going? I got it, Jax. I got to get with you because we need to reschedule my interview. I don't think we rescheduled it. I forgot what happened. Jax was supposed to interview me and something happened. I forgot. We had to reschedule or something and we never got around to doing that. Oh, okay. Yeah, then, yeah. But yeah, so that's, pretty much everything in a nutshell. And unless anybody has any more questions for me, then I'm going to give the microphone back to Wolf and Hound. But yeah, if anybody has any more questions, feel free to ask. Like I said, anything about the paranormal or about my experiences or about me personally that you'd like to know. What has been the best location you investigated so far? The best location would have to be the Mirador Bed and Breakfast. The Mirador, like I said, had the most activity. I was friggin' like almost needing a pair of Depends. And like I said, when we watched back, like when we were watching back doing our editing and stuff, when we were watching the footage from when we were sleeping, that's when we saw the blanket like being pulled up and then dropped down like 20 times or more. It was insane. So yes, definitely the Mirador. But out of all the cemeteries that we've been to, it would have to be Restlawn Cemetery because that's the most haunted, in my opinion. That's where we get the most evidence. Can I bring my pendulum when I visit? You can bring anything you want, girl. Just don't bring anything like, well, I know you won't bring anything with evil attachment because I don't want anything in my new house. When the house that we lived in before we moved into this house definitely had something going on. Absolutely. And I don't think that they were happy. I think that there was a couple spirits in that house, but the one that I communicated with the most sounded pretty upset. Almost every time I attempted to communicate with them, talk to them, communicate with them, whatever. Some of you know I have a spirit portal box that I use to communicate. I either hook up the SB7 or I use the Signal app, because the Signal app is also a radio sweep communication device. And I don't ever use sound bank apps on the portal box because it wouldn't make a difference. I use the radio sweep apps or the actual SB7 or whatever, because it drowns out the static noise that goes and allows you to better hear the responses of whoever's trying to communicate with you. How many times have you been touched? That was my husband that asked that question. I don't even know, honestly. How many times would you say?
I don't know. You're always getting touched.
I know. They love to touch me. Like I said, I've never been scratched, ever. Never, ever been scratched. I did find a mysterious scratch on me one time that I don't know how I got it, but I wasn't on an investigation or anything, so I don't know how to explain that one. But while on an investigation, I've never been scratched, I've never been shoved, I've never been harmed, but they touch me a lot, especially down on my legs, which I personally believe that those are child spirits, because a lot of times when I get touched on my legs, we're usually in like the section of the child burials and cemeteries and stuff like that. But I get touched a lot. They like to touch me a lot, and I don't even know how many times I've been touched. Plenty of times. John's been touched too. Not as many times as I have, but John's definitely been touched. Like when we were at the S.K. Pierce Mansion in Massachusetts, before we even started the investigation, we were being given the tour, and John was being touched, and we didn't even start anything yet. So that was pretty crazy. And I was kind of impressed because, like I said, he barely gets touched, and you could tell that it scared the bonkers out of him. Like he was like, what was that? He thought it was his friend Bobby. His friend Bobby and his wife Lynette was with us on the investigation, and he thought it was him. He was like, dude, did you touch me? And he was like, no, I'm all the way the hell over here, you know? So yeah, that was pretty cool. It's cool when things happen to other people that happen to you, because then they know that you're not crazy. So I did freak him out. Yeah. Yes, they love my hair. Yes. Oh, yes. That's happened, I think, 2 or 3 times where they play with my hair, and they love touching the back of my head. I don't consider that playing with my hair, but that's where they touch me too, is on the back of my head. But there have been times where I can literally feel them pick up my hair and then drop it back down. And we were on an investigation with Vinny from Lost Souls Paranormal in a cemetery, and we were both live. And unfortunately, neither of us caught it on camera because, I mean, hello, I don't have my camera behind me. It's in front of me. And he was standing next to me, like facing the same way I was facing. But I felt like my hair lift up and go back down. And he looked at me and he goes, oh my God. And I was like, what? And he goes, I just watched your hair rise up and then go like fall back down. And I'm like, I felt it. It was super weird. So yeah, they love my hair for some reason. I don't know. And sometimes I wear my hair up, but most times I wear my hair down. But I noticed that when I wear my hair up, they don't touch it. They only touch it when it's down. So it's really weird. But yeah, she gets touched a lot on her head. One time they picked her hair up and yeah. And another time too. No, that was in the dark hallway. That was in the dark hallway cemetery. Another time that happened was, I'm trying to think of where we were.
That was Fort Ogden that happened to you. When we were walking on that trail.
Mm-mm. No, there's that one cemetery. I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's the one that we only went to one time. And I've been meaning to film there, but I haven't had the chance to get over there. Is it in Venice? Remember we went live there and my live stream kept messing up?
Yeah, really bad signal and stuff. But we got some creepy stuff.
Oh, we got some really creepy stuff there. I want to go back there and film. I've only been there one time and I was live. And yeah, oh, I don't know. That place creeped me up. But my hair got picked up at that cemetery too, and I can't remember the name of it. But that was in Venice, Florida. And like I said, my live stream kept like cutting in and out, which was really weird because on John's phone, he had perfect signal. Like he had 4G, perfect signal. And my phone said that it had 4G, like perfect signal. Pineapple? Okay. So we couldn't figure out why my live stream kept cutting in and out, especially when we went over to the area that looked like they literally just had a funeral procession. There were the chairs were all lined up and there was a big like bucket with
They still have
bottles of water in the bucket that were still cold. Like they had condensation on them. They were still cold. So obviously the funeral procession just ended right before we got there. But when we went over into that section, that's when my signal started going out. And it said that I had 4G signal and I couldn't understand why my signal kept going out. But it was in that cemetery where my hair got picked up again. That's why I started talking about it. But don't listen to those mangy mutts. But no, I am going to call Pineapple though. And I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to hand the microphone back to Wolf and Hound. And because I'm an early bird and I go to bed early. So I want to get them on panel and see if anybody else wants to come up and ask more questions. So Pineapple.
What's up? What's up? We found that a safe word is good to use.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh no, the rolled up newspaper.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh no.
So anyway, I noticed you was a little confused about the strawberry jam. So it's something we were joking about last week. Strawberry jam, toe jam, and we switched toe jam with strawberry jam, and it was a game we were playing on live, and it just kind of took on a life of its own.
It had something to do with hairy feet too.
God!
And I guess there's some folks that don't believe that a wolf and hound was very well behaved, and so of course we're going to get the newspaper. You have to punish us like that.
And flea dipped.
And flea dipped.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I was reading about the FICO. Who's got fleas?
Us.
Apparently us.
Apparently we do. So, man, you knocked it out of the park.
You sure did.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
Really
it's fun. I love talking to, the chat and stuff, especially when they got questions because it gets me on a roll.
Well, I was damn sure hoping you was going to talk about the clown cottage.
Ooh.
And the box of clowns that you brought there. I actually watched Omar open them up, and he was talking about you, and he was talking about Peppermint Patty, and
yep.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and actually, he's going to be having me after the holidays. Me and Omar are doing a podcast together in the Clown Cottage.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to catch that.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
I know we got a big investigation coming up Saturday night. I can't wait. That's probably when the newspapers is going to happen. But yeah, so we're excited about that, and we're supposed to be going somewhere else this week. And I don't see Fox, so I don't know if she's still around here.
Fox.
But I haven't got up with her yet. We're supposed to go check out this covered bridge.
Oh, God, Mom. I don't even know what she's talking about, but...
She has a story about strawberry jam, and we want to hear it.
Oh, my God.
Please tell.
That's if she wants to come up on panel and tell it.
Well, she's more than welcome to.
I don't know what she's talking about, but I'm a little scared.
Well, we're dropping her the link right now. So you can come up.
Look at Patty. No, Mom, no. Oh, thank you. That's actually, we have 2 Christmas trees, but that's our main Christmas tree.
We're still lighting the jack-o'-lantern.
Oh, God. I wish I was. Christmas
One
is
looks like a zombie
fast.
right now.
Yeah.
And if I tried to put a candle in it, it'll probably catch fire and burn the wood down.
Come tell the story, Mom. Yep. See what you started?
Yep.
Now you got to do it.
Yeah, now we need to hear about it.
Excuse me.
I am very intrigued.
Well,
lost for words. Thank you so much. Anytime.
so
Oh, hell
I
no.
guess at this point the panel's open. So if anybody would like to come up and join us,
Yes.
feel free to. Laura Lee, I know Patty's Adventures will.
I think we scared off Jenny Love's mom.
Oh no, well that happens a lot.
I don't even
And
know.
we have Lori now.
Hi.
Hey,
Are
Lori.
you really gonna hit us with rolled up newspapers?
Yes, I am, because you guys are being a little naughty.
Is it weird that I'm excited about the flea dip?
It's a little weird that you're excited
Jenny!
about the flea
Hey,
dip.
girl.
Hey, Patty. How's it going?
Good.
I
Hey,
just wanted
listen.
to
You know,
tell
you
Jenny,
ain't gotta
thank you
ask.
so much for being here. This was an awesome interview, and
Yeah.
it was really cool
I know,
to hear about
she's
everything and to hear you and John talk about St. Augustine. I'm excited for you guys.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you
that
so
sounds like
much.
a lot
I'm
of
fun.
excited too.
Yeah, I know a lot about the history, and I wanted to go to Cassadaga when Toby was still alive, and we
Oh,
talked about
Benny,
going
you
down
have
there.
no part to play.
Him to do the investigation, but me because of the spiritual shops, and I wanted to just kind of check it out. I
Yes,
thought
they
it
have a lot
looked
of
really
those too.
interesting. Yeah, and so I dug into the history of that place, and I really wanted to go, but and then like the pirate folklore and all that, and the Fountain of Youth. So I've done a lot of history stuff for him, but.
Oh,
So I was
cool.
really excited to hear you talk about it. So it's kind of like, wow, cool.
Now, do you live in Florida too?
No, I live probably about maybe
An
an hour from Wolf and Hound. I'm in North Carolina.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I'm I'm
Mom.
between Hawk and Brenda and Nicole, and Wolf and Hound are on this side. So I'm like right in the middle of all of them.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
And we're wanting a video collab with all of them, including you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But I'm not-
Me
I'm
and
not
John
a
plan
ghost-
on making our way up to. We're hitting up various places in the Carolinas and Georgia.
Cool.
So we'll definitely get a hold of you guys for sure.
Yeah, and we definitely have a couple places that we can access fairly easily
All
Yeah,
right, so we got
that are
Definitely.
great locations.
who have
Yeah, I mean, we'll be in your neck of the woods, so you guys can take us wherever you think is most haunted.
Hey, I guess you know
Bring me
that
with you.
we actually video collab with Urban Ghost and Urban Exploration.
I saw that. Did you
And
guys
they
release
came
the
to
actual
surprise
video
us.
yet?
There's Sam.
Yeah, it's uploaded. It's on our channel.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. Hey,
All
Sam.
three of theirs is too.
Yeah, they surprise. Well, you want to watch? Well, of course, I want you to watch mine because I want the view. But go back and watch their video of it. And they didn't know that's the name of their video, and it shows them surprising me. I didn't even know that Rob was going to be there. Kevin, the
Oh,
custodian,
wow.
did that.
That is so cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have to
those
go
guys
back and
are
watch
really
that.
cool.
Hi, Cindy.
That is
And
so
I'm never
cool.
gonna forget when I went because I was in the middle of the hallway and Kevin called me. He said, "Hey, Wolf, come down here and see what's in this room." And so I went down there and I cautiously looked in the room and I saw somebody standing there. And at the very moment I didn't know, and then I said, "Holy crap, that's Rob from Urban Ghost."
That is
I think I
so
peed a little.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
cool. That
were
was like-
we were supposed to do a collab with Joe and Rob back when Joe and Rob were filming together.
Yeah.
We had plans on doing the Arcadia Opera House, and then shortly before we were able to do so, we found out that they sold it, like sporadically sold it out of nowhere, and they weren't allowing anybody to go in. I was mad because, like I said, we had it all set up with Joe and Rob to go in and do that. And again, they were in Florida at the time, so
Patty.
but we never got to
Oh,
do
we
it.
do have a hospital. We have an abandoned hospital. If that's something that you
I live
Tanya.
here in Kissimmee, Florida, so
Okay, yep. We travel to Kissimmee quite often, actually.
I'm going to hop down and let you guys do your thing.
I have
wanted
yet
say
to go
thank
on
you,
an
though.
investigation.
Have a good night, Lori.
I'm just going to go back to chat. That's my job. It's my job. It's my job. I'm going to the newspaper to get in the chat.
Oh, good grief.
But we never got
Oh,
to
we
do
do
it.
have
Here we go. And
Oh,
Now you're in trouble now. Hi, Mom.
Hello.
Are you ready to tell
Hi.
us this story?
Hi, Mom.
No.
No, but she does have a good story if she wants to share it with you guys.
Oh,
Well, she
Which
can't.
one, Jenny?
No, the out of body experience one.
I'm just gonna
The what?
The out of body experience.
Oh,
It's my job. I'm going to the newspaper.
Oh, you're echoing, Kathy.
Oh, good grief.
am I? Hang
Yeah,
on.
you got your
I know
earbuds.
why. How's that?
There you go.
Yeah.
Much better.
Yay. Yeah, we would love to hear an out of body
she's got a
experience
very,
story.
very, very creepy out of body experience story.
Okay. We had a ranch home and it was in the country, and I was cooking dinner at the stove. And right around the corner from the stove was the basement door. And I was waiting for my husband to come, well, my ex, to come home. And I think Jenny was like 12 at the time, 12 or 13. And my two boys, they were in the living room playing. And all of a sudden, I'm standing down in my basement and I could see the stairs. I'm Italian, so I use my hands. So I can see the stairs. The wall was gone. And I seen this guy like stomping up the stairs. I couldn't see his head, but he had on like a pair of jeans, work boots, a light jacket, and a black t-shirt. And I knew that he was coming after us. And I'm screaming to Jennifer,
I would love to
"Get
go
away."
investigating, but I have no one to go with me, so.
So anyways, like I said, I yelled to Jenny to get the boys out of the house and run. And next thing you know it, I'm still standing at the stove cooking. So
And she never yelled.
no, and I didn't yell.
Oh,
So needless to say, the bolt
Wow.
lock went onto that door.
Mhm. I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. Chills
Yeah.
up my spine.
That's
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty scary.
Oh, I got lots of stories, trust me.
Mhm. Yeah,
Well,
spirits
we got
love
lots
my
of-
mother.
we got lots of time.
Hey, birthday girl.
Hey, I may have to, Jenny, I may have to schedule your mother on the Wolf and Hound Show.
There you go.
And we would be more than happy to have her too.
Aw, thank you.
I think
Yeah,
we're booked
her
up.
mom is
We're
awesome.
booked up through December already. So,
Oh wow. That's good.
but I mean, I'd love to hear all these stories. And matter of fact, you can just tell a couple more right now if you want to.
Oh,
'Cause,
no.
yeah, we all about that stuff.
Are you sure everybody's up for it?
That's why we
Oh,
here.
you know,
Yeah, that's why we're all
I
here.
mean,
I'll
Okay,
even make you bigger.
Mandy.
Yeah, we'll even give you the stage.
Well, I went in for a complete hysterectomy, and there is an old hospital in Auburn, New York, and that's the hospital that I was in. They put me into the old section of the maternity ward because they didn't want to bother me with like the babies and all that stuff. So I take my glasses off. So anyways, the night I got there, I'm looking at, out in the hallway, and all I could see was these shadows going by in the hallway. And I'm just like, what the heck? So the nurses were leaving for the night to change shifts. And they were like, good night, Kathy. Now I was the only one in this hallway way down. Okay. And it was pretty scary. But they were like, good night, Kathy. I said, good night. I said, do me a favor. I said, take your ghost with you. Well, they come flying into the room and they're like, oh my God, did you see him? And, so the one nurse was like, well, I'll tell you what, something happened here in the hospital. And I will go ahead and take you for your walk tomorrow and see if you can, find the room of something happening in it. So next day comes along, and even during the daytime, the sun was shining on the wall from the other hospital room, and I could see the shadows back and forth. So, sorry, my dog hears something. So, anyways, she came and got me. We went for the walk, and we walked, quite a ways in that, and she's showing me different things. Well, we ended up in the old maternity ward, where the room, has a nice bed in it and a birthing room, basically. And I got this feeling, and I turned and looked at her and I said, "This is it. Something is in this room, or something happened in this room." And so I was like, I got to get out of here. So I went and out in the hallway with her, and she told me, she's like, and she's like, "Oh my God." She goes, "That's the room." Yeah, they had to have a priest come in and do a exorcist thing to get rid of the bad spirits. So then
For YouTube.
the night
Oh, somebody's got their
before,
volume on.
Hold on.
okay, the night before I left, on the back of the door, it was all these orbs. Okay. And it was, I kept staring at it, waiting for it to take, shape.
Yeah, there we go.
And I would just kept looking at it. And, and I just finally, I said, "Well, thank you for taking good care of me." And it disappeared. So I would have to say that was kind of the freaky experience.
Tell them what happened to you 2 nights ago.
Beth.
Oh,
Hello, host.
Hello, Beth. All right, please continue.
okay.
Where did Lori and Sam go?
Laying in bed.
This was 2 nights ago. This happened to her.
2 nights ago. And I have a humidifier that the colors change on it. And I was just looking at that, gonna fall asleep. And all of a sudden, this black shadow head poked around the corner of the door, like looking at me, and I'm just like, and then it disappeared. And I'm like, did I really see that? And it happened again. And where that person would be, I have a bookshelf up against that wall. So I don't know who was staring at me, but also, Jenny, I forgot to tell you that I have a clock that chimes like every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And let's say if it's 6 o'clock, it'll gong 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I heard it gong at 9, and then it did it again at 10 after 9. It's never done that before.
Are maybe the battery's dying?
No, I just replaced the battery.
That is so weird.
Yeah, it is. And then in the morning when I woke up, my dog has like those bones, milk bones things on the floor. And I came out, I sat in the chair, I turned on, the TV, my normal routine in the morning. And then I went in to get dressed. And when I came back out, there was one of her bones up on the arm of the chair. Now, my dog does not jump. She can't jump up on furniture or anything.
Yeah, she's little and old.
Yes. So how it got there, I have no idea.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yep.
That's super weird.
Okay, I'll stop boring people.
You're not boring us at all.
Keep going.
But I do have a question for you, Mama C. I do have a question for you.
Okay.
What kind of snacks you got up in that cabinet up there?
I
Actually,
think somebody's got the munchies.
We
do you
like
see
snacks.
right there?
What's that?
Do you see where I'm pointing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my pantry.
Oh.
And
I
I
think
got
there's
a
some little
bunch of good
Debbie's.
snacks.
Well,
I
I
bet
want to
there's some
come to
little
your
Debbie's and
house.
stuff, some oatmeal pies in there.
Actually, no, but I have those little Debbie Swiss rolls.
Oh,
Ooh, Swiss
I like
cake
them.
rolls.
I
Yeah,
like them a lot.
I got pretzels, I got crackers. You know, when you get the munchies, you got to have the crunchy stuff.
Everybody on panel gonna
Couple
start
cherries
drooling.
How
there.
would you know? How would you know, Kathy?
Look at Tales of the
um,
Solstice. Look at my grandma had an antique brass clock with horses on it, and that thing actually started going crazy one time when I was a kid. Only time it ever did that.
wow.
Wow.
I don't know. I was talking about it. But whatever.
Yeah, that's weird. Like something's like attached to it or something.
I know it's never done that before. And I've had this clock for like 15 years.
Lost for words? Yes, munchos. Munchos are the best when you have the munchies.
Yes.
Definitely. Or Funyuns.
And they're only $2 a bag.
Funyuns.
I'm coming over, Jenny. I'm coming
Hey,
over.
Jenny.
Yes.
Jenny, we actually have numerous spirits here in this house. I don't know if you ever heard me talk about it before, but where we live now was actually my great uncle Marvin built this as a general store. Had gas pumps, the whole 9 yards. He built it before he went to World War II. Every stitch of lumber, except for the new additions that's been put on, the original place was built by all the lumber that came from the forest behind us. There's like 300 acres of woods back here. It used to be a lot more. He milled all of it. He built this, and he went to World War II. And then after he come home from World War II, he built the house next door.
Oh, okay.
And
hey, Laura.
so
Hey,
when he got sick, my mother bought this place from him
Hello, Kathy.
and turned it into
My
a
name's
house.
Jenny.
Okay.
And there's been several deaths here. His wife died from a brain aneurysm back in like the early 70s.
Oh,
I think just
wow.
like a year after I was born. And I've seen her spirit here. I think it was her. My dad passed away here. My great uncle passed away next door. And his friend, when he had the store here, you know how old dudes are. They'll come hang out. He had a big potbelly stove in the middle of the store, and they all hung around in there. Well, his old
wow.
buddy died too. So we have numerous spirits here, plus the ones that have followed me from several locations. We have a little girl named Sarah. She come from, but she's welcomed here anytime she wants to come here. There's several others here now. So,
Now, have you ever considered doing an investigation and filming at your own place?
nah, we will never do that.
No.
We don't believe you should investigate your own house.
Don't
Just
wanna
our
stir it
personal-
up.
Just like
yeah,
I
I'm the
won't go
same
down
way.
to the local church and investigate the cemetery there, just because I have relatives there and friends that are buried there.
Yeah.
So I won't do it. But now I'll go to another cemetery with a quickness if there might be somebody there I know. But I mean, I got a lot of family buried out here at this one, so yeah.
Gotcha.
You
Okay.
know how folks get sometimes.
The family
Yeah.
clock.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, strange things happen. I shot a little video. My friend sent me some coffee, and I made the first cup I ever made of it. I shot a little video of me drinking it, and in that video, there's 2 orbs.
There is, yeah.
And I mean, you can see stuff. We did necrophonics here, and we had a whole conversation with the little girl Sarah through the necrophonic right here on the live.
Oh, wow.
On.
Yeah, I saw a kitty.
Yeah,
Why is Fox on the screen
I
twice?
have no idea.
I don't know.
I seen Lost for Words said something about it.
Yeah, I noticed it too, and then I thought, well, it's
we
not
get
just me,
rid of
so
one of those.
I'm not too worried.
And I think she's froze anyway.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Patty's doppelganger.
Well,
Oh, there it goes.
You know, me and Jenny, one day plan on when I go down to visit Jenny. Me and Jenny want to come up and see you. So.
Who us?
There you go.
Yeah, I think because she's
Yeah.
coming
Lori.
down in March. So I think when she comes down in March, that's when we'll plan our trip to the Carolinas and Georgia.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I hope I'm down there by then.
Well, you know you're going to be here in May because that's when my daughter.
And I know we know a couple of good barbecue restaurants, so we could all meet up at a barbecue restaurant and have a good supper before we go.
Hey, Lexington.
Yeah, down for that.
Ribs. Barbecue ribs.
That's her favorite. She loves ribs.
Oh, that's so cool.
They got ribs.
Oh yeah,
ribs. They're a little on the pricey side, but
you know I know I'm gonna get some ridicule.
Lost for Words says, "I want to learn the fine art of Italian cooking from Kathy."
I know, I saw that.
I can't see the chat, so
it says, "I want to learn the fine art of Italian cooking from Kathy."
Well, Jennifer can show you too because she learned it from me.
Ooh. And
I cook all the time.
We make a mean lasagna.
Just because, and I'm gonna tell you this, just because I want to brag, is on the 15th of February, me and Hound is getting to go see our favorite band, Ghost, in New Jersey.
And Volbeat.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And Volbeat.
And Volbeat too.
Volbeat.
Whatever. It's freaking Ghost.
I'm old. I've never heard of them.
That's
probably
so cool.
wouldn't approve of their music.
Maybe not.
Hey,
but
Eli.
So we love them guys. Hey, Eli.
Is it that rah 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 stuff?
Rah 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 stuff.
Well, you know how your brothers, when they had their bands.
Oh, like metal music?
Yeah, and you couldn't understand what the singer was singing. And they would do the mosh pit stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Remember John would stand there next to me and he had to step in front of me a few times.
Yeah, he'd be like,
me.
That's
Don't touch the mama.
Yeah. I don't know. I've honestly never heard of that band either.
Yeah, it's well, I don't know if you ladies would probably approve of what they sing about, but to us, man, we love those guys. And I like them because of one particular thing these guys did. I ain't gonna lie to you; these guys sing some satanic. They sing some satanic stuff, but it's a gimmick. He gets them paid, right?
Right. Hey, as long as it sounds good, right?
It sounds awesome. And the thing about it was they went down to Texas, and they were going to play a show, and the huge Baptist church got together and told them you can't play here. So the venue on down said, "Hey, man, we got an opening. Why don't y'all come play here?" So they did. Well, after the show, one of their fans had gotten killed in a car accident on the way home, and he left behind a wife and 2 young kids. Well, when Ghost heard about that, and they did, went back there and did another show and gave every single penny they made on the show to the wife and the 2 kids.
Oh, that's cool.
And the Baptist church did nothing. Did nothing.
That is cool.
And I was like, man, you got to have a good heart, man. You know how much money that takes for those guys to go. Yeah.
Yeah. That all had to have come out of their pocket.
Yeah.
That whole next show went straight to that guy's family.
I mean, I'm a huge Motley Crue fan too, so
yeah.
Classic rock.
Yeah, we're classic rock people.
Yep.
Yeah, we like Interstellar and Led Zeppelin.
No way.
The Eagles.
Eagles is my favorite.
K2O Purple.
I saw Marshall Tucker Band in concert with Molly Hatchet, if you can believe that.
Plus, I'm a huge John Bon Jovi fan. Huge.
Oh, see, that's why we have to part ways. We have to part ways.
What?
Yeah.
I like Bon Jovi.
Well, I liked his earlier stuff. Back when I was a
I
kid,
mostly like his earlier stuff, his 80s stuff.
She always was in love with the guy. So.
I like Snoop Dogg.
I love Snoop Dogg too.
On her walls,
Investigate. Oh, too bad you're in bed.
Dolph.
Yep, Young Dolph.
Yeah, see, we had just discovered Young Dolph, and it was like, this tune's just kicking, and we would play his music, and then he just got murdered. last week, and a young golf
wow.
deal. Yeah, that was
Wow.
terrible. He was buying cookies for his mama.
Get your K2 out, Laura.
Wait,
You
what?
could get up.
Oh, I'm missing out on the chat. Hey, Eli, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, she had
Oh, yeah, I missed some stuff.
My TV just turned on by itself and something just
Yeah.
tugged on my son's shirt. What?
Oh, now you understand. Get the K2 out. Yeah, get the K2 out.
That K2 out.
You know we do. I keep my K2 on hand around here.
Heck yeah. This world is going to, that's for
Good
sure.
night, Tanya.
Good night, Tanya. Thank you for coming.
Have a good night. Thank you so much for coming.
Good night, Tanya.
Good night, Tanya.
Every time Eli shows up, I get this hunger for pizza
And donuts.
So do
Yeah,
I.
donut.
I'm back, guys.
I do the same
I'm
thing.
getting an ice cream.
That's so funny.
Oh, is
I
that
ain't even
because he
ate
was
no
eating
dinner yet.
pizza on that live stream that one time? Or he was talking about
Ooh,
ordering
what
pizza or
kind,
something?
Patty?
What happened?
It sounds like Eli.
Oh. What's Patty eating? I missed it.
Ice cream. I want to know what the flavor is.
Peanut butter, Mom.
Oh, that's my weakness.
I'm a chocolate guy.
I love
Yes.
chocolate peanut butter ice cream.
Hey, you see
Is there
what,
such a thing? Seriously?
Sam Jr. wants to know, are you planning on coming up to Tennessee?
As of right now, no. But I would like to hit up Tennessee and Alabama. Like I would love to do a collab with Jesse because we've talked about that before. Jesse's Histories and Mysteries. I don't know if y'all know that channel.
Good night, Tanya.
No.
But yes, I will definitely eventually plan a trip up that way because I mean they're not too far from me.
We want to go to Alabama too, Jenny Love, but not for
Yeah.
the same reasons you want to go to Alabama.
Why? What's in Alabama?
Well, a lot of people, I don't know if you know, but me and Hound, we're really new to the paranormal game. What we are is storm chasers, and we want.
Oh, I knew that. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes,
That's
ma'am. We
interesting.
want to chase. We actually have a couple storm chasing videos on our channel.
Oh, I'm going to have to check it out.
The storm system wasn't real good
They get
here.
a lot of tornadoes and stuff there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they're really fast. They don't stay on the ground long, and it's hard. You can't track them.
Oh, okay.
You just got to be at the right place at the right time, and and just look when you're watching the radar. Look for the signature hook echoes, but that don't really help you any because a lot of our tornadoes are mesocyclone tornadoes.
No way.
They come down really fast and really violent.
Wow.
Yeah, I would love to storm chase. I don't know. My mother would be freaking out, but I would love it.
Yeah, we the biggest tornado we ever saw was an EF4, and it alarmed us greatly when we realized that it wasn't following where it was supposed to be going.
Oh, the K2 went off.
Direct turn
coming right over
and
us.
come right over us, and when it got close to us, because it lost its track because it was funneling down along this was in Colorado. It was funneling down along the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
And it caught a stream and it poured it in on top of us, but it lost some of its bite. So the main tornado vortex actually went back up. And as the storm came around, it was swirling as far as you could see. And it was aqua blue, and there wasn't a whole lot of wind.
Hail
and
and stones about this
yeah. And we
wow.
watched it drop a little tornado down in the parking lot next door. And as soon as it touched down, it went back up. And as it came over us, it put down another one in the parking lot that we were standing in. Just in the far corner, and it went back up. And once it went across I-25, it stayed on the ground, I think, for 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
20 minutes as a solid EF4.
And if I remember, I'll shoot you a DM. I got the picture, so I'll send you a picture. I actually got a picture of the tornado as it was approaching.
It was bad enough. We were calling back family and friends here telling them we don't know if we're going to
survive. Yeah, we don't
know.
Wow.
That's scary.
That main funnel would have touched down and come that way. It would have destroyed all of Wellington, and it would have hit us head on.
And that just made me hungry for it, for that thrill. That's why I ghost hunt, man.
It's a rush, I bet.
Man, it's better than any drug you can ever do.
Oh, I bet.
Mm-hmm.
we get high on
Yeah.
life, man, because I mean, when you see that freak of nature and you know what it's going to do,
Benny said,
and
"What
you
are
that fear
tornadoes?"
you feel, man, it's like there ain't nothing like
Mm.
Hello, Snowman.
it. Hey, Snowman, welcome.
Yeah, we
Hey,
survived through Hurricane Irma down here a few years ago,
Oh, yeah, I
and
tracked that.
that was bad. That
Yeah.
was a Category 4.
And of course, I'm up here freaking out.
Yeah, my mom's in New York, and she's freaking out because we're down here dealing with that. But luckily, we had at the time, well, we still do, but at that time, we had a very solid hurricane home, and the windows could withstand, I think it was like 150-mile-per-hour impacts. And what was funny is everybody, and I mean everybody in our vicinity, lost power except for our house because we were on like our own little, what you call it? What do you call it?
Transformer.
Transformer.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like you walk outside and you hear generators going off in all directions, and we have power at our house.
Where's my glasses?
I don't know where your glasses are, Wolf.
I know that date, but I'm gonna ask anyway. What year did the tornado on Thanksgiving Day happen in Illinois?
Oh, Thanksgiving. What a day.
2000 and it says tornado outbreak. It says 2013.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
That when it was Tails
7 years ago.
of the salsist. And I did not mean to say salsas. And then I said, well, I'll make a joke of salsas, and the dumb phone wouldn't say salsas again. I don't know.
Mine does it all the time. It's so annoying. And then it'll be in there correctly when you go back to read it. And then when you send it, it's like it changed it anyways.
And then we had a pretty big tornado around here this year, and it was pretty close to where Fox lives, which is about 25 minutes from here. But we wasn't able to chase that. The first big tornado we get here, and we can't chase it because they're setting off tornado sirens all over all day long. And I have an elderly mother here and a mentally handicapped brother, so I can't just run off, with the conditions like that. And so we just missed out on it. But we were doing a live one
Snowman,
night.
they're not to be messed with for sure. That was scary when we went through that hurricane.
No,
I actually have a video of what the yard looked like the next morning.
Yeah. But we want to go right out of hurricane. I mean, we've had hurricanes here, but I mean, it's an experience that we want to experience. Is to face that. And
well, I live on the Gulf, so when those storms travel up the Gulf, they're not fun.
Yeah.
I had a girlfriend, Jennifer, Pat and Robin. And Robin, she was this adrenaline junkie type thing. And where they lived like down, at the bottom of a mountain. And
I remember this.
Remember, her and her brother tied themselves to the front porch.
Yep.
And stayed outside and went through it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that's insane.
They refused to leave.
Debris and.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, she said that here's the base of the mountain, and that it goes, but it'll go up. It won't actually go into the mountain and go up.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah, but I remember hearing that, and I was like, what the hell? Yeah. Crazy.
It was Robin.
Oh, there it is. Hey, Jenny, I just sent you that picture.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll check right now.
Hey, Snowman.
Hey, Snowman.
We're on the Atlantic side.
My phone won't send messages, but I don't know why.
Snap.
Yep.
Damn, that's crazy. That's thick.
Yeah. And the crazy thing was, we could stand there. We went up on the third floor at this hotel, and the maid opened the door on the third floor. We went into a room and was watching it. You could see the clouds swirling into it. It would go way out and then swirl it right back in. It was crazy, and you could feel the vibration. That was the
Like,
craziest.
wow.
you could even hear it.
Yeah, from that distance.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. And
And
that's
Rocky
that's one of the
Mountain was right
scariest
on the other
parts.
side of it.
That's
They
one of the
had
scariest parts. Like when we had the
they had
hurricane, it
storm
sounded like a freight
chasers that
train.
stayed the night there at that hotel and
Yeah.
went chasing a storm, and that tornado actually picked them up and threw them across
Not
the
that
field.
one. Not the one I sent you the picture
Not this one, but another one.
Yeah,
and it
wow.
was close to where we were too.
Mm,
Huh. Jennifer,
That's
can you
scary.
forward me that
Yeah,
picture?
couple grams.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Wow. Laura, it's your birthday. Maybe it is a blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe somebody's visiting you, a
And
relative
happy
or something,
birthday.
saying happy
I
birthday.
had
Yeah.
a dream,
True.
like
Don't
a
be scared of
dream
it. Embrace
visit
it.
on my birthday.
Talk to them like they are family.
Or yeah, ask if they're family. Maybe they'll tell you who they are if they're able to.
Now,
I think the largest tornado ever recorded width-wise
Oh, there it is.
was actually in El Reno, the El Reno tornado.
okay.
But
So I had to reboot my phone.
Was that the name of the tornado?
wasn't
What the
no
heck?
joke, though. That tornado rolled through there like at a high rate of speed. It just wasn't no joke.
Wasn't there one like maybe 3-4 years ago? I'm trying to think. I want to say Alabama and Oklahoma, like those states, that there were several of them touched down.
Oh, I remember that. I think it was Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Tuscaloosa. They had two major tornadoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, the little ones kept coming down too, and
Yeah.
that was crazy.
There you go. I sent it to you.
And see, now they're having those large tornadoes come up as far as Georgia now. So the tornadic track is actually shifting more to the east.
Wow. Yeah, we don't usually get tornadoes in Florida unless it's like backed by a hurricane, because you get a lot of the cone around it. The winds and
that's
stuff like
awesome,
that
Laura.
will create little tornadoes here and there.
Wow.
Jenny, do you remember when we lived down in Kyler? You, me, and the boys were at the kitchen table. I don't know what we were doing, but all of a sudden it got like dead quiet.
Oh yeah, the
Birds
mini
and
tornado.
everything stopped singing, and you can hear it. And I made you guys hurry up and get underneath the kitchen table because it was on us, like, you know,
Within seconds. There
within
was no warning.
seconds.
No warning.
Exactly. That was
And the
crazy.
worst part about it is you never get tornadoes in that area. Like
Yeah.
New York very, very rarely gets tornadoes, especially in the area we were in.
But it has happened.
Oh yes, it has
We,
happened.
we've had tornadoes in Massachusetts too.
I think North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken, North Carolina has had two.
Just not on my page.
We have 4 tornadoes here.
Yeah, it's your hand, Patty.
Huh? What happened?
Oh, we lost
Jenny, where'd you
Jenny.
go?
We lost Jenny. Maybe a tornado got her. But you know what me and Hound love to do is we'll watch on radar and we'll punch the core of storms. And that's always it's really dangerous to do. But that's
I don't
what
know
we
why
do.
it does that. I have no
We're
idea why
like
it does
the
that.
disappearing lady, the magic lady.
It just goes poof.
We was taking a poll to see who thought that a tornado got you. Because you was scared.
Yeah. All right, everybody. I think I'm going to turn in.
All
Right.
Good
right.
night,
Good
Kathy.
Good
Well, you're
night.
always welcome here, Miss Kathy.
No, thank you very much. I did
Yes,
subscribe
thank
you
to
for
your
the story.
channel.
Kathy,
Yes,
I hope to see you next summer.
you will. You
Cool.
will. All right, everybody. Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Hey, nice
Love
to
you.
meet you. Nice to
Bye.
meet
Love you, Jen. Bye.
Love you.
Good night.
Yeah,
Your
I'm
mom
gonna
is
have to get
awesome.
going too,
Yes.
guys. It's past my bedtime, so I'm
Oh
gonna run as
no.
well.
I have to get going
Okay.
pretty soon. I have to get up early.
Excuse me. You, ma'am, ain't going anywhere. You
Why
are.
the hell am I not going anywhere?
You have unfinished business.
I'm
Yes,
glad he
Patty.
picks on you now instead of me.
Oh no, you're not excused out of this, Laura.
That's cute. You think you ain't on the list?
You're number one on the
here-
list.
Uh-oh.
Double my ass.
They're keeping
Good
you
night,
after class,
Jenny.
Patty. They're keeping you after
Yeah.
class.
What is
Well,
that?
Jenny
You in
Love,
trouble.
we sure want to thank you for taking the time to come hang out with us and
Yes.
tell us
Yes,
Absolutely.
thank you guys
so
so
much.
much for having me.
And
We
John
really had
as
a good
well.
time.
And we don't
Yeah.
really
And John
have
as well.
No.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Well,
John.
that's good.
Well, he's probably
But
back there.
yes, thank you guys. Thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to being on panel again in the future with you guys.
Oh,
Oh,
anytime.
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 I'll have to have you guys up on panel on my channel as well.
Ooh,
We
okay.
would, yeah, we would.
I've yet to
welcome
be on your panel, Missy.
Yeah.
Actually, you were on my panel, Missy. Remember we had an interview.
God. When was that?
Yeah.
That was a couple of months ago.
I
But-
don't remember. Whatever.
All right, guys. Thank you so much again. And I'll see you
Thank
guys
you.
later. Have a good
Good
night.
night.
You
Good
too.
night.
Good night.
Well, that was just freaking
Awesome.
Beautiful
absolutely
lady.
I
awesome.
know, right?
Both of them and John. I just
Yeah.
love those guys.
So, now what?
I guess we're gonna end this and I guess come back on.
I guess is Purple Crayon still alive?
No, she in bed.
No, she's in bed.
No. She's
Yeah.
recording herself doing the dosing rod.
No stuff going on. She ain't in bed.
she's got some ghostly.
Oh, okay.
activity
I did
going
see
on.
she
She's
was
going to
going.
record herself doing the dosing rod, she just said.
Cool.
Because K2 was going crazy.
Well, if y'all guys want to hang around, y'all can come up on the panel and we'll end the show. And that way it'll just be us and it won't be broadcasted out or nothing. We can just sit here and shoot the shit for a while. So,
Benny won't.
Benny,
Well,
you
won't
damn
nobody
well
see
you
ya.
are.
Won't nobody see you but us.
Yeah, you better
We're not
come
live.
on, Benny.
It's private once we stop the broadcasting.
And 420 friendly.
Laura's not going to want to do that, though.
All right, well, then
She's
we're
in
just going to
bed.
end the show.
Okay, then
Well, she's not
goodbye.
in bed, but you know what I mean.
Well,
Then,
we'll just end the show then because
Okay,
I'm
well,
hungry
then,
anyway
yeah.
and I'm ready to watch something.
well, then, thanks to everyone in Chatland.
You don't have
And-
to end it.
Well, I'm hungry, so
And
I
you
haven't had
ruined it.
supper.
Is it the M&M Peanuts getting to you?
Yeah,
he
my
don't have
stomach's
none.
rumbling.
He don't have none.
I do too. Got something to have on top of the So anyway, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who was in our chat.
Yes.
Lori, Benny. I can't remember.
Purple crayon.
Purple Crayon. I was about to say
Snowman.
Snowman.
Tales of the Sauce.
Tales of the Salsas.
There
Yeah.
was tons of them.
Kim.
Kim.
I'm not going to be able to remember it all,
I'll
but
just say
Rain.
entire Chatland and Chat.
I can't remember. There was
Universe.
lots.
yeah. And those who are watching, hope
All
y'all have a
12
great
of them.
night. Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys later.
On the flip side.
Thank you, guys.
So we'd like to give a
Bye.
special shout out to Jenny Love for coming on the show, and she did an awesome job. We're honored to have her here and her mother.
Yes, and her mother. And
Yeah.
a special birthday shout out to Purple Crayons.
Yep. And with that being said, we bid you all a fond farewell, and we will see you later. Good night.
And good night.